Okay, today is another wet morning. Yeah, today is another wet morning across Painesville, outside the nation's capital in Morovia. Sinker to be specific as well, because I drove from Sinker up until Painesville to be specific, 72nd. Yeah, along the Totman Boulevard, it's been raining heavily. It's been a heavy downpour of rain this morning. I just don't know about your own community, but let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depends on where you are following us from, and those that are following us through our Facebook page. This morning, that's at Punch TV Live. Yeah, that's Punch TV Live. Just go on social media, most especially Facebook, and type in Punch TV Live. You will follow us through. That means, or you can log on to YouTube as well. Follow this. Just find us Punch TV Live. Yeah, you will find us there on YouTube. Watch streaming live on several platforms, right? So good morning, wherever you are, however you're listening, welcome. Welcome. Wow, 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 wow. Buakai Amara Kamara is my name. There's a thunderstorm this morning. Yeah, thunderstorm this morning. Okay, so all those that follow us through our Facebook page, you can leave your comment, tell us where you are following us from. We'll recognize you this morning. Marcus
Good morning.
Gampum Pikin say I'm following from good morning. I'm watching closely from Ganta City, Nimba County. Yeah, I'm following closely from Ganta City, Nimba County. That's where Marcus is watching us from. Sidiki Toure say good morning. Okay, Sidiki, good morning, welcome. Okay, so we have a wide range of issues to look at this morning on today's edition of the Punch Breakfast Show. Welcome. Coming up shortly, my colleague will be joining me on today's edition of the program. Like I said, today we are experiencing heavy downpour of rain, thunderstorm. From the forecast here this morning, yeah, there'll be heavy downpour of rain this morning. So, if you are leaving your house, you have to embrace yourself for that, because that's what the weather. Let me say they are reporting this morning. The weather forecast is reporting this morning that there'll be a heavy downpour of rain. So if you are going out of your house, you have to wear your rain gears, your rain boots, your raincoat. If you have an umbrella, you have to carry along with you. You have a jacket, you have to wear your jacket. If you have anything that can assist you in getting to where you want to go this morning, you can wear them. So, yesterday, His Excellency Joseph Newman Boakai, President Joseph Newman Boakai, um, call on the local to reject public servants caught in corruption practice and seeking elected position. He was speaking over the weekend at the induction of the National Council of Churches, Community Council of Chiefs of Elders in Nimba County. That's what he said. Um, this shouldn't be something that coming from the president to us. Now, with the issue about corruption and those that have been caught up in the web through the GSC report, the LSCC report, the money now they are receiving, or the money that they receive, the money they corrupted the system with, they stole from us few years from now, in 2029, those that even stole our money will be the one running to us to get it elected to various positions. And we Liberians, we will again fall prey to them and elect them. Like the case of Bill Twaway. You saw what happened to Bill Twaway. You saw what happened to Nathaniel McGill. You saw those that got caught up in the web of corruption. They got sanctioned by the U.S. government. They are the one today, Prince Johnson and other people. They are the one today making decisions in our country, because we Liberians are noted for selling our birthrights to people with for little of nothing. Little of nothing. This statement says should it be coming from the president? You know, this is the backwardness of our country. This is where we, as a country, we are facing serious problem, because people will play on our intelligence. People will play on our minds. People will play on us just to get to where they want to be. They will play on us political wise. They will play on us party wise. They will play on us, individual wise. They'll say, "Oh, I'm your family member. You're my relative. Come and elect me. When I get to the position, I will help you with this. When I get to the position, I will do this." Some people are frustrated. They are frustrated because they thought that if I help this person to get to where they want to be, one way or the other, I will get job to survive on. But today, even some of us, but today, even you that's listening to me through the radio station, through your radio at home, a lot of people are downhearted. They are frustrated. And this is only based on us setting our birthrights to people. This is only based on people corrupting the system and coming and giving us little of nothing, and we will accept that little of nothing for just a few while, like a month or two. Then tomorrow we'll start to bomb off. We'll start to call on government. I'm calling from the abandoned district. I'm calling from a frustrated district. I'm calling from the neglected county. But you forget to know, during elections, when that person that you electing today or the person that you elected before came to you and dish out few cash, you fall prey to it. You gave your birthright. You sold yourself to them. And you want change. You want the government to play magic. If your district lawmaker is frustrating you, instead of you taking up to he or she, you will take it to the government. Not only the Boakai's administration, even the Weah's administration, it was like that. It was like that. We Liberians are noted for some of these things. And how can we change from this mindset? It's upstairs. The only way that we can change, if we look in the eyes of politicians, when we muster the courage and tell politicians that, yes, you don't mean well for this country. When we look in the eyes of politicians and say, no, you are from a political party, but I know that you are not capable of serving this particular position. Yes, of course, you are from a political party. I'm supporting this party and you are from that party, but I know that you are not capable of serving this position. So I will not vote you. I will vote somebody on party X, because I know that when he get to that position, he will bring a lot of changes to the country. He will bring a lot of changes to the country. So we Liberians, it's our mindset. It's yes, of course, it's our mindset. We will now look at people in elected positions. How they got there is through us. Through us. How they got there is through our votes, because they are from our party. How they got there It's through us because they are from our family. They will chuck us from here to Bapolu, chuck us from here to Bomi, chuck us from here to Cape Mount, Basson, Magibi, various counties across here. They will chuck us. And people that we are going to, people where they are chucking us, we don't live there, we don't reside there. And impose lawmakers, representatives, senators, or other people from their counties, from their districts, because we have been chucked. And tomorrow, you now, when that person in that district, when that person in that county is not doing well, they will start to bomb off. Will start to express frustration. How can you be frustrated? How can you? I'm asking, how can you be frustrated? That's the question. When we look at criminals today, we are reading the audit report from the GSC. We are reading the audit report. You listened to us yesterday. That just few of what we read on yesterday here on the platform. Just few. If we have the strength today again, we'll go in depth again to read out few again for you. How frustrated it is for our own country. But because that person is from a party, that person is my brother or sister, will come in defend. Will come in defend of he or she, or he or she. Will come in defend of he or she because they are from my family, and what they are doing is in my own best interest. It's not in the interest of the country, but it's in my own interest. But today or tomorrow, if said person just turn a back on you, then you start to cry. You start to say, oh, fellow Liberians, I'm frustrated. How can you be frustrated, my brother? How can you be frustrated, my sister? That's the question. How can you? We have to change our mindset. We have to. So now, the audit reports are being rolled out. And we are calling on the president to take action. We keep every morning we come here, we'll call on President Boakai. Please take action. If you want to, for this, your administration to succeed, the only way that you can succeed, the only way that you can set a legacy from other president is for you to prosecute people. And by now, some of us, we are not expecting that by now, people are not being prosecuted. I'm surprised. I'm frustrated in his government. Yes, of course. And like I said, I'm frustrated. Frustrated in a sense that up to now, we are seeing the glaring facts. The receipts are out. The documents are out. But because of political game, but because people are threatening the state, so this government is yet to even take actions on people that have been caught up in the web of corruption. It's frustrating. And President Boakai, your administration, once again, it will fail when you not good about holding people accountable for what they have done to this country. It may not be the weird administration. Even people that are serving under your administration. Even people that are serving under your administration. Our call is, we are not against you, We are not against your administration. We just want you to do the rightful thing. And the rightful thing is that, but now, people should be held liable for what they did to this country. Yes, of course. Liberian people, we have long yearned for such a thing to happen. We have long called for prosecuting people. We thought the we as administration was going to do far better. But yet, we can't receive that. But yet, we can receive that. How soon will we be standing up, boasting, telling other people in different countries? He said, saying yes, my country is doing far better when it comes to the fight against corruption. Right here in neighboring Sierra Leone, it happened that people were held accountable for what they did. What? It can happen in Liberia? Are we different set of people? Is it not the same Africa? Is it not the same West Africa? Is something that is now a neighboring country? Right here in Guinea, people have been held liable for what they did. The past administration, the past government, the president that were in power. Why I'm asking this question? It can happen in Liberia. Is that what we are saying? Or Liberia, we are just kind of different people. Let people be held liable for what they did to this country. It can be corruption. It can be any way. The Civil War, the War Economic Crimes Court. We have gone mute again on that. The yellow machines we talk about. You guys flag around here with it. How far are we when it comes to some of these things? How far are we, Mr. President? Oh, the first batch of yellow machine scheme in country. How far are we? Yesterday, you launched the digital system, the digital training. That's, we say kudos to you and your administration. But when promises are made, let us not, behave like the previous government. You talk about buses. How far are we of some of these things? How far are we, Mr. President? If people were in the people when people were the one, when we have some of your ministers were the one that told you that, oh, this will work out for you. Let's put the news out there. They should be held liable now. Ask them, Mr. President. Why is it I'm not seeing this? We paraded with few yellow machines. We said we're bringing 200 and some more. Jeff, roughly about 50 or 30 came. We paraded we go mute on that other thing again. We can hear about it. Yellow buses. We talk about buses coming in country. We paraded off social media with it. How far are we today again with that? For us, like we said, don't hold our tongues here, man. We say it as it is. And we will sit on this platform and make the government to do what it's supposed to do. I will always say this. This government, we will make them to do what it's supposed to do. If they promise the Liberian people and they fail to do that, and they fail to fulfill that promise, we will make them to do it. And that's our call. We are not against government. We are not against opposition. We are not against nobody on this platform. We just want the rightful thing to be done. That's all. That's our call. You think if you do the rightful thing, we'll not come and heal you yet? Yes, of course. We'll celebrate you. We'll clap for you. We'll say, yes, Mr. President, you are doing well. We say, yes, you are doing well. We said that a few of the roads, the places that when rainfall and a damage, we are going to be having yellow machines there. But certain part of the roads now in our country, I don't know what's happening. Have you guys forgetting so soon or what? Are you forgetting? I'm asking, are you guys forgetting or what? Some of these things, we only flag it out to bring the president to speed on some of his cabinet ministers. They are not working. They are not doing the Liberian people job. And we are the whistleblowers. We are the one that's supposed to make the president to know that this is not happening. This is not happening. And Mr. President, you take actions. With the news that coming from the central bank, if you as a citizen will sit and not be frustrated with all of the news that we have read here, all of the information that we are giving out to you, if you sit down and not become frustrated about what's happening at the central bank, not only the central bank, what happened under the WIA's administration, the way the guys misbehave in this country. If you not be frustrated, then I don't know what will frustrate you. I don't know what will make you to take actions again. I don't know what will make you to be frustrated about things that happen in our country. I just don't know. The reports coming from the CBL, the reports coming from the NTA, the reports coming from all over the Ministry of State, the reports coming from the Public Work Ministry, every sector, the guys milk the system. And today they are passing free. They are passing free. With AB Lexington, we said there's not business as usual. That's what you told us, Mr. President. You said it will not be business as usual. When you sat on international platform, you told us that it will not be business as usual. How far are we with the World Economic Crimes Code? How far are we the asset recovery? How far are we? Everything just go mute. Everything. That's why you hear people in the opposition will say, oh, that they're total showmanship. And sometimes they'll be correct because we will just hear, oh, the other thing coming happen, oh, they will parade, the Union Party people will take a parade all on social media. Later on, they just go mute on that again. They just go mute. And we are here to flag them out for the president to know that people that have been given the mantle of authority to do certain things, they are not working. They are not doing their job. Mr. President, they are not. At times, just sit back and read some of the newspapers. Listen to the various radio stations, Mr. President. Listen. You will get to know if what you put out there to the Liberian people, the promises you made out there, if your cabinet ministers are working up to get it fulfilled, if they are working. Let me cross over and welcome my colleague this morning. Harris, good morning. Welcome to the show. The camera, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm good this way. Good morning, and it's good, Parker. I'm here this morning. It's good. I'm perfect. I'm doing wonderful this morning. I thank you. Follow the conversation. I've been following as well, and it is important this Tuesday morning. The very, very challenging weather we have, but we made our duties to be here this morning as well, and so I'm honored. I'm doing good as always, and I hope we'll have a wonderful conversation this morning. I've been following as well the different points you have spelled out, and that's what makes this conversation unique, because there are times we will discuss, we will sing songs of praises to the government, and again we will be right here to chastise the government on things that they're supposed to do and on the promises they made to the Liberian people. And so it is good, even though I've had a few point of objection to your points as well, and that's what makes this conversation beautiful as we move on. We're going to have those discussions surrounding that. Yeah, but it's wonderful this morning, and I hope every one of you, despite the challenging weather this morning, you be able to make it your way to go to work and quite the different places you up for this morning. Yeah, so I'm good this morning.
Okay, so promises made. Some of the promises made, and um, we have stopped seeing, or the government have started reneging on some of the promises made to the Liberian people. Not that they are reneging, but what I'm saying here is that they have gone silent on some of the things. Us as a country, they told us about the coming in of yellow machines. We saw the first batch, and since then we we gone mute on that. We talk about the bosses in our country. Since then, we have gone mute on that. We talk about the asset recovery. Since then, they have gone mute on that. We talk about the establishment of the War Economic Crimes Court. All of these things are just been uh, forgotten. I don't know if they are still working on them, but everything just gone silent. And like I said, we here, our core is that people that are placed in the positions to do the job, they shouldn't wait for the president to come and tell them that you should do your job. They should be on top of that game. Let Liberians start to see what they were placed there for. Let us start to feel the tangibles. We shouldn't behave like other people. That today they were, Mr. Yesterday they were there. All the day was to sing praises to the master that put them there. We shouldn't behave like that. Or shouldn't be just centered around the president. The cabinet minister too should muster the courage and take some initiative, bro. They shouldn't wait for the president to come and say, oh yes, today we're doing this. They should be serving the position and making the Liberian people know that yes, this government is working. It shouldn't just be from the president. That's my own point here.
I think towards that as well. Like I rightly place it, that we will have a different views towards this, and that's the beauty of the conversation, Wakai. But I'm reading you critically as per your point. We can totally sit on this radio to say that those cabinet ministers or those different directors, ministers of different government institutions are not working behind the back as the way we expect them to. No, for me, I don't subscribe to that. I do believe that those officials, as we speak, they are working. Now you talk about the different things that the government announced. This is how it works out. The government at first will come out and inform the people about what she's about to do. Now, when that information has been passed, then Liberians are in anticipation that the government will start to do even though the GSC went at that government institution, received all of the documentations, her on-site interviews and everything with those here, I'm saying with the heads of those institutions that draft that report on that institution. It is still not satisfactory. That's why you have the Public Account Committee now taking that report, going and sending a call these same very heads of institutions and say, come, the GSC said this is what happened at the institution at this point in time. What do you have to say towards that? It is from that finding as well now that the public account will submit to the executive and say, Mr. President, the GSC conducted their audit and said XYZ was found to be inappropriate or was against the laws. We have taken this, invited heads of those institutions, past and current heads of those institutions, and after our careful interviews and everything, we have found out that instead of the GSC report, this is what we base our argument on, and this is an evidence that you can use against those officials to take further action. On top of that as well, the public account will be recommending to the executive that this is what we want you to do. We want you to follow this way, to follow that way, and this is the way. So all of the recommendations that will be in a report submitted from the Joint Public Account Committee to the president is what the president is going to receive and start to add on. So if you were to ask me, I would tell you that
have it not been reports coming from the...
That's what I'm saying. If you were to ask me, I would tell you that because of the laws we have in this country that protect criminals, so it makes it extremely impossible in a way that the president will just wake up and say, this is what we're doing. And this is why, in fact, you are being corrupt, we'll get a report and we get this against you, so we will do this, someone will take you. That's not how it's going to work. So the fact that the president has the political will to allow this thing being done, that's why you see the Joint Public Account is conducting public hearings. You have the GSC as far tracking, other reports, and you have those officials, being summoned to the court, their bond has been secured. When the different processes are going on, free of the involvement of the executive, then it demonstrates the president's political will to have these things done. And I think this is where we should acknowledge, because over times, it's not that we don't have the same system that we have tried those officials in the past time that have been deemed to be corrupt. No, that's not the conversation. But because at that, during the order of the day, we had the president of the day lacked the political will for these things to happen. So because of that, you had all through the 6 years, you had a Joint Public Account Committee, and that committee was literally dumbfounded. That's why all through the 6 years, we had a GSC with all of these different reports. The GSC was like a two-step bulldog. Nothing was happening because the president of the day didn't have the political will. So if you were to equip on why you see government institutions, quote unquote, being silent or no one talking about the progress of the government, because the president had come out and announced this thing. Until we have a sufficient percentage in terms of the progress we have made, we can continue to come on the radio. Okay, we say, okay, we're creating work crime. We will establish work crime code. That is a promise we will. Then the next time we come, we say, oh, the government thinking about creating work crime code. Someone wants to see from the time we announced that we will create a code, and the next time we come to have a public conversation, the progress in between, then it validates the government commitment to what she says she wants to do. So we cannot say, oh, the people are not talking about it again. So they said it. Let's talk about the conversation. Let's have a conversation on the yellow machine aspect. The government says we were procuring, we're bringing 285 pieces of yellow machine. In demonstration of the president's commitment, they brought a full batch of yellow machine. Again, the legislature said, no, Mr. President, this is not what you should do. In fact, the procedures in which you used to acquire those yellow machines, we are not satisfied. So because of that, don't proceed further. In fact, you have to explain to us. So the president wrote a communication to the legislature and said, this is the way forward it went. Since that day, has the legislature advised the president on the way forward then for us to move?
But the president made a statement to them. The president told them.
So because of the legislature not advising the president cannot add for a bargain.
No, the president told them that there's a gift from a friend. And if I'm done with receiving all of the materials, that's the time I will come to you guys and tell you that, oh, this is it. And if you guys don't agree, the provider of this gift will pack them and carry them back to where they are coming from. Or they may likely sell them on our market here. That was what the statement of the president.
That was what the president said.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then the legislature, then everything was to advise the executive was to say, Mr. President, we hear you, but this is what we think you should do. In addition to the conversation already, this is where we are. But as we speak, lawmakers still having dissatisfaction. So since they all break, until they return to have a deliberation on that, that's what doing. I believe in my mind, from that person the conversation with his colleague, as he said, always his long-term friend, on what they have agreed on. Until the legislature return, and perhaps there will be a briefing again to the legislature and say, we have agreed on principle. This is what my friend has said. We will do. So since my friend has said this, what's the advice or what the way and pleasure of the legislature? Then again, the legislature will have to brainstorm. Is that something cannot be done? Of course, it will be done. So the thing about it is not the way we want to say, oh, the president send the people to about the thing. For me, my only disappointment has been that's what I said. We'll have this conversation. There will be points we agreed on in principle, and there's a point, of course, I'll have some disagreement. My fundamental disagreement with this government, in all of what we discussed, is that thing of an asset recovery thing has literally failed.
but that just all of what you just outlined failed already.
That asset recovery thing has failed. There was no if about it. There is nothing else you can do again. And that's why when I see the likes of Emmanuel Gonko and others and the rest of others criticizing the performances of the government, sometimes I laughed. And for me, I think you have the authority. The president guarantees you and say, oh, can help us in this thing. Take this part of the agenda we want to achieve for Liberians and work on it. You went there, you say you vest. You say you lead up or you vest. You left the process and went up. Then today you will be the same people come and sit down and criticize the president not achieving the fight against ensuring that people that stole from this country restitute. We felt in our mind that you are one person that have recommendations that will effectively contribute towards our effort. The president trusts, but man, it's just Liberia. We see these things happening in other countries around the world. It is a greater honor. It's one of the most highest duty of every citizen to have a term to serve your country. I was reading on 7, right? I was reading last night on 7, the ACC. That's the Salvadoran anti-corruption. When they had a female in 2018, and that of few other young people, when Marabiu took over in 2018, had those individuals appointed to head the Sierra Anti-Corruption Commission. It was interesting to know those individuals, as long as they are in the space of 1 year, was able to restitute 7.5 billion Sierra dollars.
And said this
7.5 billion.
Can it happen in Liberia? That's my point here.
It could happen in Liberia, and I'm careful I choose my words.
It could happen.
It could happen in Liberia. That's not because of the president will now go say, oh, to win the money.
I mean, the president have the will.
What? That's the willpower that you talk about.
I come in now.
Let me just lay my thought. The political will you talk about that Marabiu exercise in Sierra Leone is no different from what President Boga has exercised in Liberia. So if you want to talk about the political will, the president took over and said, let's have an asset recovery team established. The president took us as let's ensure that all of the audit reports on the decks of the Auditor General be dealt with. The president took us and said that let's ensure that all those that their names have been involved in the corruption may have their days in court to clear their name of corruption. That's demonstrate the political way you talk about. Again, it is resting on the shoulders of those Liberians have been given the tax to fully execute. Has that been a point in time that the asset recovery team, even those that have resigned and the ones that are still there, reported to you that one day the president took an objection to the things that they want to do in this country? Has there been a report of that? Has there been a report that since the audit process has been ongoing, that the audit, the public account has informed you that the president taking an objection to some of the things that they are doing? Has there been a report that since those officials been called to the court to come and answer to their names, that the president has had a direct involvement into these things? No. So you cannot ruin the president's commitment to his. The president mind in terms of providing. Having the political will for these things to happen. What is now considered is with those like parents, when you have been given a responsibility. The lecture of Concord and the lecture of Martin, we said that they would have been an addition to the government strats. But when they went there, because of personal disagreement you have with individuals that you call heads of the institution, now with the government, now with the president trusting you, no, but you go now, you may have fellow librarian that you say, oh, the men will agree with me, then you resign, you left the job. Then you go to the creative house now. Then how can we trust you now? We say can't help us do the thing. You go there out of greed, out of dissatisfaction, you left the job. Without having dissatisfaction with the government. Now the difference here is that the way it was done on the George Weah time, that people had disagreement with the president himself, not necessarily those are. I'll give you an example. We talk about the LWSC, the manager of that Sensei says, yeah, disagreement not necessarily with Dwana, but again with the president, George Weah, because by then when Sensei had informed the president about this thing happening, George Weah tended to shield and covered Dwana Camara at the detriment of Sensei. So Sensei had private. As Martin informed you, or Gongwe, or those that with as a recovery team that left, inform me that they have fundamental disagreement with Martin, that they informed the president did not act on.
Yes, of course, he's saying he wrote several communications to the president.
To the committee. Told the committee.
And reached out to the president.
No, you can't. That's not how it works out. That's not how it works out.
Because in thinking that the committee weren't doing anything that he's talked about.
Have you had the time to see any of those communications he said?
Who appointed him was the president, right?
Have you had the time to see any of the communications?
I didn't, but he said it.
But then
he said it.
Then how can we validate his account now? How can we validate his account? When there are no evidence to prove the when the mayor resigning, he published a resignation letter, you see it. But when the mayor tell you that, oh, I wrote a letter to the president, inform me about it, you now show the letter that he wrote to the president, but you show a letter he resigned. Then how can we use that account to validate these things? So we got to be serious when we have some of these discussions. And the aspect of it, we cannot wound the president's willpower in this conversation. What is more lacking is that those appearance that are in these different positions. They are the ones. Instead of that Bill get those young people the willpower to go after corrupt officials and make sure that they restitute the folks. But Bill were not riding the car, they were riding to go to the people's houses to follow them there to say, oh, I'm the president. I don't give the people the power. Because the power has been vested in them by the authority, the head of the
nation. And now, you see, like I said, I'm not against the government or even being against the government. You say, for instance, in Sierra Leone, Madabio get the people the willpower to do this. Having those, the guys in Liberia, haven't they been given the willpower by President Boakai?
Of course, they
have been given. And what have they done? That's my frustration. What have they done? And this will just drive me back to even the cabinet ministers. It will drive me right back to the 6 cabinet ministers. If, for instance, we say, oh, yellow machines, we are bringing yellow machines. We say we are bringing it in segment. We brought the first batch of yellow machines. We brought the first batch of yellow machines, and we have gone mute on this. Now, the thing is that let the Liberian people know what's happening. That's my point. Let the Liberian be on top of the game. So now they have left us in doubt. They are left. We don't know any. We are not getting any other information. The day we see at the port a yellow machine coming in the country now. So whether it can be from now to December, whether it can be from now to next year. So all we know that 200 or more yellow machines will come.
Was the yellow machine conversation part of the president? State of the Nation address?
No, absolutely not.
Was it part of the president inaugural address?
Absolutely not.
The reason why I asked those 2 questions, and I want Liberians to get this clear, the State of the Nation address is what set the government agenda for the year in review. That's the first thing we need to understand. So what we should be doing by this time is to be questioning the president in terms of the promises he made during the State of the Nation address. Where are we, especially we drawing closer to the end of the year? That's the first thing. Now, the premise of the president's inaugural address, coupled with his campaign messages, can be used as well as the reason we're going to judge him by the end of his 6 years. Now, during the president's State of the Nation address, I gave you an example. He said we will make sure that we have, about 10,000 young people being trained in this country. So it means that we have covered by the end of his first year as a president. When we witness that after the first year of the president administration, or this year in review, that has not been achieved, then we question the president's sincerity and the president's commitment to the promise he made to the Liberian people. That's fine. But the yellow machine conversation came in as the president already set his agenda, because they still have the national address, is telling the country or informing the legislature that this is where I met his country, the current state of the country. And by the end of this year, this is where we intend to take this country. And these are things that we want to do under the year in review. That's why you go and present it to the legislature. Now the legislature take that and begin to work on it. So when we look at the conversation, the president set his agenda. Say, 2024, these are things we're going to do. I can recall vividly the president talk about the 10,000 youth. The president talk about ensuring that we have about 200,000, about 2,000 land being cultivated across 5 counties. The president talk about ensuring that the roads will be pliable. So when these conversations unfold, then we use them and track and see where the president is already. We have gone 7-8 months in his administration under the year in review as compared to what he presented to the legislature and what he's doing at this time. That's one aspect of it. But when we to look at it, say, okay, the president already tell the legislature that this thing, this is what he wanted to do. While the conversation was ongoing, this thing about the yellow machine came up. He said that we should not accept it. No, we should embrace the conversation. So the president embraced the conversation. In my mind, and my argument this morning is that the government will come out to inform Liberians where are we with the yellow machine conversation if we have already an appreciable percentage of the work being done in acquiring those yellow machines. We cannot continue to say, okay, so let's say every week we'll come tell the people say yellow machine. So the last time when the president announced that some 285 pieces will be in country to make sure and cater to our own needs and everything. It took about a month plus or so, or 2 months. And last time the government addressed that situation about yellow machine, we saw the fuel bash in country. Okay. That's to show that from the time we announced to the time the yellow machine came in country, there was progress being made. So the next time is that the president said, Mamaka said that right after this one has been cleared off the port, we have storage facility, the next one will be brought in country. Why that conversation ongoing, it prompted the legislature to take an objection towards that. And the legislature had an objection to what the president wanted to do. And there are conversations, there are mixed reactions, there are different media reports, and there are public sentiments buy into the conversation. So now the media will be discussing it, not necessarily in the interest of the people, but now we look at the only aspect of the law that say bring the legislature in. So now we give the legislature, that authority altogether. That even though we like letting go, but let the legislature take equals. So they compare the president. Now the president said, "Oh, I discussed this thing with my friend. I'm in conversation with my friend. Until we conclude, then we come back and say this is where we are." Perhaps the president had concluded with the conversation. Now, when the president concludes with his friend, will not be coming back to the Liberian people again. He's going down to the legislature to go tell them, because that's what he said. Now the legislature is on break. How will the president come and go tell the legislature when they are on break? So he has to wait when the legislature return from their break. Then the president go now and give and say, "Oh, I conclude, my friends. So I've concluded with my friend, and this is what he says about the yellow machine. Where can we go as a country?" So if you will ask me, in my mind, I'm convinced that from that time the president informed the legislature of the present, they have concluded with the conversation. But he's waiting the legislature, because this one night he can't come out to the Liberian people and can't tell them no. John Lemepia can go to Mika again and go inform Liberian that where the president has reached any longer, because the legislature has been fully involved in this thing and they demanded explanation on what the government is doing as we speak in terms of acquiring those yellow machines, that pressure the president to inform or to expose a conversation, right, that he has had with his friend. So what the president doing now, we have to wait till the legislature return, then he can take what his friend has said to the legislature and say, this is where we are. What's your way and pleasure? Then the legislature now informed the president on whether to proceed or to decline. So at this juncture, we can't sit there and say nothing being done about the yellow machine. No, we can't be doing it, because anything for any action moving forward on that yellow machine has to it needs the involvement of the legislature. The legislature is on break. They're on break. So the president can't do anything. One guy. So for that yellow machine, that's just it. And I continue to repeat this morning, Wakai. Mistress Honor is the CEO of this radio station. she called you and said, Baraka, come and take over the show. That's a comment. That's exactly the discussion. So when she said, "Come take over the show," you become the head of the show. And Joseph Sokone, the director of television, and Joseph Sokone say, "You can put a machine on again. You won't put a machine on. You talk to him, he won't put a machine on." I mean, because you believe that by doing this job, there is a gain that will serve the great interest of the people. You try to create a way that substitute the already one we have. Those individuals that the president trusted, those young guys, for me, I saw them as the less of Gonko and the less of Martin and others. I saw it at that thing would have been one of their greatest achievements as ever. I mean, that thing would have been one of the greatest achievements. And a lot of them that have, brighter future, they are young, they are aspiring to become leaders in this country. That was served as a resume moving forward. That it took our courage to go after corrupt people in this country and break them the book. It took our courage to restitute funds in this country. That thing, I said it to someone last time. If President Baraka would have appointed me, Harris Willie, to be on the asset recovery team, you let him pay me for 2 more Baraka, I will do that job. Because you know what? In the long run, we will have a time. Because I know there are some days when we take over public space, people will say we corrupt. Then we will reference them that if you think that we corrupt, we were the individuals that ensured that public funds in this country that was stolen was brought back. I was reading through the National Road Fund. I tell you, I'll give you an example. I was reading through the National Road Fund. The report says that the government from 2018 to 2020, about $25,900,000 United States dollars was collected from just on the road, from National Road Fund was collected. Then the Ministry of Finance had that money. But when they go look, that only 16 million was sent in the road fund account. So a discrepancy of 9 million is yet to be accounted for as we speak. That one I just road fund, 9 million United States dollars were wiped away in thin air. Till now, the audit report there recommended that there should be full-scale investigation. That the Ministry of Finance must explain how it's said that the 9 million were wiped away from from the 25 million that the National Road Fund collected, that the NRA collected from the National Road Fund for taxes. So if the president had appointed me to head an asset recovery team to ensure that state resources is being restituted, and you tell me, Baraka, because I get one director that say, "Oh, no, that proceed this way." The thing that we fail to understand in this country, you can get the best of ideas. This is how it works out. Now, the way President Baraka looking, you can even be the Minister of Commerce. You get a PhD in what? President Baraka is a president. Is he that bring people appointed? His agenda is what satisfies the Liberian people, and they have him appointed. Even if you have this agreement with the president agenda at this moment, that now that you're working with him, you can just work out some money. No, I won't do it any way. It's not your way again. It is an agenda that drives the president to that seat. So it is that agenda that Liberian people carefully reviewed and considered that he was the best and how he appointed. Not necessarily because he, as Baraka, as President Baraka, no, it was not that reason. It was not because if you want to talk about, let's say George, we won the election. So it was not necessarily that because all the men are old men. That was not it. Because if you were all going to be looking at Benu Kromana contested in the elections, she was one of the oldest candidate too now. So it was not on the basis of age, nor the basis of popularity, but because of the agenda he brought forth. And Liberians carefully reviewed and held discussions on that agenda and said, okay, but then I think you're the most person, you don't want to have a clearer vision of what we want in this country and how the president elected. So at that level, you can even be director of a man. You get it out there and think that the way the president want to address, corruption is not the best way to do it to sit and have a conversation with. It's not to take a disagreement with it.
I've been quiet. I've been listening to you. I've just been doing some little research on when the second batch of machines will be in country, and I'm still yet to see and I'm still yet to get what I am looking for. And like we say, for me, like you want to put it the way that you are putting it. But for me, I'm clear on this, Harris. I'm clear. The willpower is being given to people that they are not doing their job. They are not doing their job. Okay, so we announced about coming in of country of buses. We want to take 2 buses from Ghana. We brought our buses here. We say the buses, they will not roll what they. So it means that the issue about buses will not let them go now. We'll forget about buses. I will keep stressing on yellow machine. You not beat all around it. If my point here is that if already entering country, yes, tell the Liberian people this is how soon we are expecting second batch of machine. But you get that. Now, what do you think? What do you think about what they will be criticizing this government of? They will criticize the government of failure. Now, that's why they are parading on social media. How the yellow machine news was a charade. It was just a showmanship. Since the coming country of the first batch, we can see nothing like second batch. The bosses, what they promised the Liberian people, another charade. Just on Georgia, when George Weah used our money and we on a body out there and said that you are going to build a twin city, today we haven't seen that happening. When George Weah told us that, oh, my country will be bringing in teachers, up to today, we haven't seen in the coastal highway, all of these things that were promises that were made by a government. So now, this government have promised us, or they have let us know if it comes from the president, but his cabinet ministers, he approved of some of these things because he spoke about it. They come in country when they brought the buses, opened the buses and went straight to the executive mansion and play the carry the air. That they play the carry the air. They bring it to my house, they carry it to your house, they carry it to NTA, they carry it directly to the executive mansion. People are giving job. They are not doing it. And that's my call. If you are given, like you said, you are given the platform here today. The data will not come in. We should tell management that, oh, this is the problem that we are fixing. Or I can be told, I will inform you ahead of time. I say, oh, I will not be on time. I will not be on time. And if you not coming, you tell me, oh, Buck, I will not be on time. We should be on top of our games. Like was the ministers, the cabinet ministers, the directors, they should be on top of a game of information to the Liberian people. But not informing us adequately, it becomes a serious problem. It becomes a setback, not only for you and I, but for an entire government. And that's just what we don't want. We want this government to succeed, and we won't make it to succeed. We'll force them to succeed. Because if they succeed, it's you and I, it's the sedition, it's the UPS, it's people that listen to us through this platform. They are the ones succeeding. That's my point, Harris.
Today is Tuesday. I'm told that on Thursday, the Civil Service Agency Director General will be at MICAT to inform Nigerians on where are we with the whole goods name, payroll audit, and everything that the civil service has been carrying out. It shows that there is an appreciable, I continue to use this word, an appreciable percentage in terms of the information, in terms of the progress of that government entity. And why you coming informed to the people? My man, nowhere in the world that even if the president, even if the government is doing Z, right away, there are three ways to work out. One, the government inform the people about what she about to do or what is about to happen. That's the first thing. When you inform the people that way, you will only come back to inform them when there are progress in the space of time. that you have reached an appreciable level, then you come and inform the people. The next time you inform the people should be that perhaps you have completed. Perhaps you have completed. Again, that's why you see in other countries you have independent media will be the one that informing the people also. That's the role of you and I, like you spoke of. So what that means is that if we said on this radio, like you continue to reference about the buses. Now, the government said that we want to bring in buses to aid in the transportation constraints. I'm saying to help resolve transportation challenges that Liberians face, especially in Central Monrovia or in Monrovia and past adjacent. So to get that done, the first thing we need to do, just have a system approach. So we will have to know that the buses, whether they are road warfare, that was being informed to Liberian people. The buses came and afterwards, you were being informed that this thing is now road warfare. So the conversation now that government are responsible to go into, that they are currently involved in. So Baka, you telling me this morning that government situation should be informing the people that, oh, the four buses will bring and go. So now currently as we speak, we'll be discussing with other people to bring buses. Till we reach an appreciable level of that conversation, then we'll come by and inform the Liberian people again that, oh, the four buses were brought, it was not road warfare. But currently as we speak, the government, this is where we have reached. So the time from that bus, since that buses left to now where we reach in this conversation, that time interval, you got to be patient and wait.
No, were there any information about what's happening to the buses that came?
So afterwards, you are being informed. You are being briefed by the NTA. You are being briefed by the NTA that those buses, that after careful consideration of them, they are not roadworthy. That's how the NTA informed me that some of the mechanics were already out of country to secure spare parts to get a few of the already NTA buses who have on the road running while they continue the negotiation. Again, you are being informed that there are other companies that are being contracted. That are being engaged so that while it's true that they have the conversations on. The NTA said it.
No,
they had a conversation.
Yeah, for me, I see their press release.
Okay, that was true. Just the press release, but there were conversations that there were radio appearances that were being held. There were radio appearances that were being held. That the deputy were on several other radio stations as well. That he held conversation, all these things, and told the people they even disprove what was being missed. Fed with the population that the government has already secured those buses. He disapproved that. Instead, the government has secured the buses. This is just a testing system. We are doing it to see what of the buses are worth. And that's how it works out. So the issue again, I continue to mention the yellow machine. The fact that the legislature has been involved in this yellow machine thing, the president cannot take any further action without the involvement of the legislature on this thing. That even if there were conversation and the president has reached a conclusion with his partner, that conclusion cannot be discussed with the Liberian people until he informed the legislature. And currently, as we speak, the legislature is on break. So then you can't be on break and the president be informing you on break. Until they come back. And once they return, then the president take the file and said, the last time I informed you that upon conclusion of the discussion, my long-term friend and I have had, I will inform you. We have concluded. And this is what he says. What's the way and pleasure of the legislature? Then I will advise the president. Then the legislature said, "Can see how this call your friend." He said, "My pay the money or a gentleman agreement." So we do, after everything, we think that is good, you can go for it. Then the Liberian government will inform you when the second batch will be in country. Until that can happen, the president can go and add against what the legislature already stand against, brother. So for that, let's just lay it aside. We want to talk about that. The buses issue we just mentioned as well. So the government will inform the people what she's about to do, which of course is not wrong. For instance, I'll tell you why. Joe Biden in America will tell you that the United States is engaged in talks with Gaza to ensure that the war comes to an end. That is what the government is about to do, or what the government is doing now. That they will only come back and they inform U.S. citizens now as to where that negotiation has reached. So until they can reach a point, either a point of disagreement or a point of agreement, they can come back again and say, "Oh, the last time we said we're going to end a war in Gaza, so we're still thinking about that." No, that's not it. So what the opposition will do is always to find a way, because they want to keep their people still attracted to them. Oh yes, because the opposition now, those Liberians have voted the government, they are already on the side of the government because they voted the government. That's why they are supporting the government agenda. So the opposition, the few ones that they have, they don't want to lose those Liberians, because those Liberians wake up in the morning, they walk, they move around town, and they see the progress, and they see what the government is doing. So they were already on the mind of slipping from the opposition to go to the government. The opposition not wanting to go. So at that level, they will continue to send out mis and disinformation. I'll give you an example. 4 nights ago, I think about 2 weeks, I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago, it was, there was a report that the Central Street, were flooded, were filled, also died and everything. Over the weekend, Mayor John Sefa took independent journalists. What kind of interesting to know that the FEMA transfer station, for instance, the Stratton Creek transfer station, for instance, the Carisbrand transfer station, for instance, those places have been reconditioned to a state-of-an-art facilities that they almost about 99% completion. So after John were able to, because at that level, the information field. So if they done it well, they go on since the opposition go passing around, we can't see anything. Today I will tell you there are 100 acres of land currently secured at Carisbrand, that as we speak, construction was ongoing to have a regional waste disposal center. That place, when completed as we speak, that the World Bank is financing that project. That upon completion, it will cater to all of the waste needs. So people from Grand Cape Bank, from Bapuru, from Lofa, everybody will take the waste to that area, and those waste will be reconditioned. So at that level, St. John already talked about that. We see what is about to happen. You will not care all day again until we have an appreciable percentage of the progress being carried out at that level before we go back. That's how it worked out. So we don't
so we should wait. We shouldn't call the government to do anything. We should keep waiting, right?
So in a nutshell, there are some things that the government says she will do that have time limit attached to them. I tell you, for instance, the 10,000 youth that they said they have trained, there is a time limit. Limit attached. The conversation on the war crime code, there is no time limit attached to that thing. The president said we will do it. War crime code thing, that's only that you say, okay, so do I go do it right away? The asset recovery team, he said he will make sure on his administration. So when these things are said, there are certain conversation, the yellow machine thing. Was not a primary president say, he said we will make sure that 285 pieces of yellow machine will be brought in country. He said that on the first year of the president, it will be brought. He said the second year of the president that this thing will happen. So there are certain things that the president said he will do that have time limit attached to them. So we then at that level now, we go Bad Island, Georgia, who have done it even in the fifth year.
So you're not even wrong about talking about the plain cake.
The plain cake, Georgia said will make sure they don't say.
So you're not
we're getting the first year of administration. There was no time attached.
So you're not wrong.
Because I'm not saying it's not wrong. Georgia has 6 years. So the 6 years you have to work. If you made a promise or a commitment to do something, it is expected by the end of that 6 years it should be done. It's not saying that the first year of the 6 year you have, it should be done. Or the second year of the 6 year you have, no, that's not how it says. I'm saying it sells out. So it's at the end of the administration, you expect these things to happen. So again, it's the same way with Joe Barker administration. For me, I will have a fundamental disagreement with President Barker that by the end of the 6 year, by the 6 years of the administration, while we winding down the government now, before we see what can go in this country, then we'll come by informing the Liberian people that the president lied to us. That one will be very clear. So we have 6 years now. How can we use 7-8 months as a basis of an argument as to why the president promised the people in field? How can we use that as a basis? Again, I have said this repeatedly, that if the 10,000 youth that the president talked about wouldn't have been trained, or that training going to go on until the president says here, until this year comes to an end, then we'll say the president lied to us. Because this is why he said you have done, inform the legislature that in 2024, this is what I will achieve. The president said in 2024, this is what I will achieve. In 2024, I'll make sure that the roads will be pliable. Were we to see that they still to the rules and unpliable, then we'll come back and have a conversation with the president. But today you follow. Focus on the Southeast. Yesterday the president was in reverses. And we're interested to note that the president was in reverses. And the president did not use plea or anything. He drove a road. Oh, yes. And the president in reverses.
Yeah, so from my understanding is that we should give the president a chance. Though George Weah promised George Weah to about Bali Allen, but he on a specific on time frame. So without him constructing it in the first year, so he was not wrong. He never mentioned time frame on a plane cake. Let me say the cake plane, whatsoever it is. So so now we said it will not be business as usual. It will not be business as usual. That's what the president told us. So everything that is happening in this country should be documented, should be systematically done. It should be systematically done. If we Liberians are to be informed on certain things, we should be informed. If we Liberians are to be left out of the know of certain things, we shouldn't be informed about it. That's my call, Harris. And me, my thing is that, bro, we have to make sure we call on this government. We call on His Excellency, President Boakai. The way that we are pressurizing you, we want him to pressurize his ministers, directors, and other people to do the rightful thing. Let them do their job. Let them do their job. That's my point.
Of course, Boakai. No one will sit on this radio and say pressuring those officials to do their job is wrong. And again, let me repeat. The Bali Island George we are talking about. George Weah has 6 years as a president. No second term is promised to anyone.
That's it.
What that means is that the 6 years George Weah's had was the 6th year he was to operate. So what that means, if George Weah has said we will build Bali Island, if at the time he went to George Weah by his first year of his administration, oh, Mr. President, what is Bali Island? George Weah will tell you, say, I said I'll build Bali Island, and I still have time.
Yeah.
So that's the same way the conversation is. But at the conclusion of his administration, Bali Island, they will say, Mr. President, you lied to us. Like that, we have evidence to why we say he lied to us. Because by then his time was already elapsed. And this is the same way with Joe Boakai on They no business as usual. We get a resolution for the court. The framework on how the code will be established will be drafted, and as well bring forth our rule of law, those experts to come and advise us as to this code establishment. How does it conflict with the laws, or whether it does not conflict with the laws as well? So with all of the process, you don't tell me, man, I aim one thing, that thing will happen. It's not possible. People can carefully review the Constitution, what it says. We can carefully review all of the laws, the code of conduct, all of these things that God, because we want to have laws that will not conflict with already existing laws in this country. When the similar challenge or challenges now we're having with the code of conduct, there's a similar thing we're having now. That the president had authority, the Constitution that remains the supreme law of the state says the president has authority to appoint and dismiss. But again, the wisdom of the legislature, because we're trying to satisfy certain interests, we said no, the president cannot appoint, the president can appoint all officials, but cannot dismiss certain officials. So at this level now, we limit the power of the president. So the Constitution is saying one thing, Mr. President, you can dismiss. Then we get one small law on the side that says, Mr. President, no, you can't dismiss certain people. That's how it is. That's how it is. So like that, you don't want to have similar occurrence with the war crime code issue. Be careful. when they were hard in the process of things. These are things that don't have time limit. That one we not need to tell you, say, I'm a modern, I know that when team process are up, the thing to do. No. The other, functions of different government ministries and agencies. These are things that we will not say then tell you, say, the president, there are time limit to what is seen. But there are shorter and medium and long-term plans. The Welcome Code thing is a long-term plan. You want to talk about having farms across the 15 countries. That's a medium plan. That's something that will happen right away. Impossible. So the first thing the government had to go have discussion with all of those people, country authorities who say we want a land. Let's check and know who are if the land belongs to someone. After that process is done, what can we do? We go for the cultivation, the planting, we get all that done. So if you look at that, we'll be achieving rice production in this country by the second or third year of the Barker administration. So should we say the M1 and say, the president said agriculture? Where are we now? We're saying agriculture. Would that be the conversation? No, that's not the conversation. So we followed, and that's why we media practitioners have to do. When we reach at a level, we come and inform the people. The president said in the 400 days. I'll tell you why. The president said in the 400 days, no cow will get stuck in the mosque. In 400 days, the roads will be pliable. When 100 days elapsed, what happened? Independent journalists are all around verifying, right? Because the president had a time limit attached to that thing he said he wanted to do. So by the time that time reaches, we were there. By the time we reached that period, we were there. Ensuring that what the president promised, he said he would do, where are we? So like that, you can base your argument and say, now we have a point.
All right. So we will open the phone lines from now up until 9 o'clock. And then 9 o'clock, we'll still go and dig deep into the reports coming from the CBL. We did part of it yesterday. We'll just conclude for today. So we'll take calls from now up until 9 o'clock. So you can call on 0778 665 699. Yeah. The discussion, you can be for, you can be against, you can be whatsoever. We have already said ours. It's not time for you to be a part of it. 0778 665 699. Let's take this person. Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, your name is Jonas. Welcome.
My name is George Brown. Calling from the top of the house.
Okay.
I want to appreciate God ever so much for the level of messages that are disseminated to us in Nigeria. But I'm baffled, so the way and manner in which leaders are going to handle our country, the kind of financial practice. And taking into consideration the other results, I think by this time, the government that we have imposed our trust to take some actions. Because our mind is about the other time. So we call on the Barker left administration to make sure that
Thanks so much. 0778 665 699. 08805616 is 0776549122 for ladies. Let's take this person here. Good morning.
Good morning, my dear brother in studio. How this morning?
I'm doing pretty well. Your name is joining us from?
Thank you. I'm Eric Bole. I call you from Chicken Soup Factory, district number 12.
Okay, Eric, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, man. I don't really know the station. I just bumped into your station this morning. I don't even.
This is Punch FM 106.7.
Okay, Punch FM. Thank you very much. And your name, please?
Bwaka Kamara.
Bwaka Kamara. Thank you. I appreciate this morning, my man. I love the station, and I'm analyzing everything that you are going through. All the analysis that you are giving for me. Your station has been very factual. Your station has been very, very much factual to the point that you're not backing anything, you're not backing any wrong. You are saying the truth and nothing but the truth. And I love the station. I like people who deal with the reality of the day. And I like whatever the government is doing. It's just so for anybody to speculate that government will end up in failure, God forbid. We all saw Joseph Boakai, we saw his platform, and we voted for him. So the only thing we as Liberians we need to do is to allow him time. Rome was not built overnight. Rome was not built in rush. Let him take his own time, analyze, do all the promises that he made. Number one, this fight of corruption, fighting of corruption, the president is trying his possible best. Let us just watch and see. Even though it's not easy, something that has been going on for the number of years since the birth of this country, for one to just kind of eliminate it, it takes time. Let us just exercise patience. The old man is trying his best. He's trying to make Liberia what we ought to be.
Okay.
I'm so proud of his leadership. I'm so proud, and I pray for him every day and every night. Let God continue to multiply his wisdom and his knowledge so he can provide the peace, the reconciliation, the unity, the development, and the prosperity of this nation by the grace of God. Thank you very much. I love you, and I love your station.
All right. Thanks so much. 0778 665 0778 665 or 0880 561 644. Let's talk to the other person. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Okay, welcome, Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, but I want to find out from you. Who is the Emmanuel Wilson?
Emmanuel
Wilson, what was standing for a lot of money in Central Bank. And the Taru was just giving him money.
Yeah, we
check the last time we were listening at the check. Somewhere 500,000, 1 million, 1 million plus. You know, just signing more like 50 checks. I mean, sample.
Emmanuel Wilson said we're still looking for, we still want to find out who that Emmanuel Wilson is.
Whether he is existing or they just put Emmanuel Wilson. So, rather, you know, a very you know, I can't go and stand for money. Then you see people from Western you go and stand for money. But no, you know what I mean? These people, let it go to jail. If not, it's President Barker leading, they will not look good.
Okay.
Other people can't do it tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Other people come and do it, and that's why we are afraid of. That's why we are calling on the president to do something. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, brother, and good morning to your colleague studio.
Yeah, welcome. Your name is joining us from?
My name is Kwama Moera, and I'm calling you from Depot Room.
Welcome, sir. You're live with us.
Yeah, you know, we voted President Boakai on the basis of accountability and transparency because we trust his leadership. We know how capable he is. So the CDC government back then destroyed the country with corruption. They made the young people a language in poverty. So President Boakai should not, how you call it, lineage he fight on corruption. Let him prosecute them. Because nowadays, when people see even button form, you will see in 2 days' time they will be in Southeast.
Yeah.
Why are they delaying to prosecute these people? They steal millions from this country. They need to prosecute them. Let justice be done to all men. They should not go scot-free.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's take this person. Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, my name is General King, and I call from Depot Road.
Okay, Mr. King. Welcome.
And thank you very much for the elaboration on the especially making we Liberians to understand what's going on and what is about to go on. Let me just say something today. Some of us, we are silent listeners, but you touch this morning to even call, you motivate you, invite you, make me to call this morning. You know, when I think about the past, this government in my eyes. The past government was a government like a 409 government. Where do anybody would check? In fact, past government, in fact, divided our country to reaction, sedition, and opposition. Now, our president, which is president of the Today the data is gone. I have them back in that place. Getting better. We pray and hope that Jesus Nimabwaga, God will give him wisdom and God will long life to go for another 6 years. So that like finish stuff before he die.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's take this other person. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Your name is joining us from?
I'm Lamia Nouri, and I call from the grounds of the Capitol building.
The grounds of what? The Capitol building?
I call from the grounds of the Capitol building. My name is Lamia Nouri.
Okay, welcome. Go ahead. You are live with us this morning, brother.
This morning, after I listened to you in your chit chat, I want you people talking about the assets we call team. It is your failure. And I don't think it's your failure because if we all part in the trend, we know that the gracious Ra try to challenge the president's constitutionality at the first section C, chapter 2 of the Labrador Constitution, that gave the president the right to set up any other committee with any other executive order. So when the challenge to the court, the legal argument was held before the full bench on the 17th. Let's come and make it a more. If I come down with a ruling, so how can we say the asset recovery thing? No, the asset recovery thing get case that we need to come away in a 23.5 million. So people who get assets that big matches, they wouldn't wait for the court to come up with the ruling. So until the Supreme Court, the full bench can come up with the ruling, I know that the High Court, the asset recovery thing will win because Chapter 2, Article 5C, gave the president any other committee. They should be a crime. They should just go and be able to exonerate themselves. So I think they ask correctly and nothing.
All right, thank you so much. That's your point. Let's take another person here quickly. Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, sir. Your name is joining us from. Welcome.
My name is Prince Willie. I am calling from Jacotown, District 2.
Okay, welcome. You're live over, Prince.
All right, everything that you said this morning, I listened to you, and I must appreciate you this morning. You did extremely well. And I will find pleasure in listening to your radio station every morning.
Okay.
Some of us voted President Bwaga on the basis of the fight against drugs and abuse in this country. But since President Bwaga comes to power, since he suspended the 3 DEA bosses,
yeah,
he had one DEA boss there who is a drug dealer, notorious drug dealer that everybody knows in this country. He has a sister working along with the president, one Mama Ability, who also pushing drugs. So she pushed her brother agenda to go as the DEA director.
No, but man, that's allegation, man. What kind of allegation in the 11? So
since the people were suspended, the president suspended them without pay, and they went through the investigation from so that we heard that this every government was in the wrong. Since then, there's no outcome. The president cannot make a decision about it. And if in our communities around here, people are selling drugs now, let's not that board. And since they send one ORC and the president is there to make a decision, some of we are very much dependent on that. President Bwaga, they say he's taking now. Some of we don't know where to start our friends that she asking people the media to push your agenda and send somebody better to the DEA so that they can be able to combat this. So we know that it cannot be eradicated, but at least let the drug dealer in this country be afraid. They got other people, they got people that can fight against this drug, and when the drug dealer hear that name, they themselves going to be afraid. Even that enter into this country will be, you'll know how to be careful. So we are pleading with you to please push it.
Okay.
Let the president hear this morning and make decision. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's take this other person. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Baka.
Yes, sir. Your name is joining us from.
This is Mr. Tizi calling from Kasari Boulevard.
Welcome, Mr. Tizi.
Yeah, let me first of all appreciate you guys in studio this morning. When I hear you guys reading that all this report about the central bank, the other way, my spirit can die in me.
I beg you, I beg you, please.
Yeah, my brother.
Because Mr. Zeze, we just read on the 3. I think on the 3 we read yesterday. We're coming read some more again at 9 o'clock. No, you have to prepare yourself.
Yeah, for people so-called patriots to put themselves in the national or property like central bank and just flashing money around and not even $100 for millions of dollars. Somebody will get $300 million that they don't know who they give it to, and there is no guarantee that that money is going to return back into the bank or into the Liberian people property. I mean, to the Liberian people custody. Look! Now, all the report when I heard that report, that 300 million, that land money, my spirit died in me, brother. Then those kind of people, then you will find young people who future are being killed by this group of people. Then you will see them, they're going from radio stations supporting their ideology.
Yes.
Who got no future anymore.
No.
Me, as for me, I was speaking here, I'm more than 50. I'm sorry for them, but they don't sorry for themselves.
Absolutely.
They don't sorry for themselves. They go from radio station to radio station because they can get $1, they can get $10, they can get $5, and go eat the next day. Then they go to become backward to them. Then they go from radio station to radio station supporting these guys. Some of them call it themselves general. I'm a general. I fought for this group. I fought for this rebel group, and we're going to do this we're going to stand for this. Wow, young people, you say you came out of high school, or you went, or maybe you are in the world of higher education. Then you're supporting the kind of people in your country who pronounce the country down the hill. Oh, my brother, the only fear I have in this country now is the judiciary. Is the judiciary going to stand with Buckeye to fight fight corruption in this country? Are they not going to be the same people because look at getting money?
Yeah.
Are they not going to take the money and then rule against the country? I'm afraid. Because it happened those days with Edwin Snow when dear Julie Bryan was taken to court. That ruling was passed. You could hear from Madam Seri too. She was not satisfied with that ruling. She was not satisfied with that ruling against the state. But she said, well, that's the ruling. That's what the law says. I can't do anything more than that. Today, some of us will stay cautious of that ruling that was made against the state. My brother, I will pray that the fight Omen Buckeye begin with. We pray that God will touch the heart of the judiciary, that it will stand with him and stand for this nation, that the country will be redeemed. Or else, it will not be an easy thing. I pray, by the grace of God, that God will intervene the same way he intervened during the election time, that he will intervene for the benefit of the country and the unborn generation that to come. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling in this morning and being a part of the conversation. Let's take another person. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, BK. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing pretty well. Your name is joining us from?
Edogbo here from
Edogbo. Okay, welcome.
Yes. Thank you, sir. I listened to the argument that ensued between the both of you this morning. And you guys, you are saying you are inland, but just that you are headed, in different directions. Here is my problem. Those people that the president has appointed, to serve as able lieutenant to him, they have their own greater responsibility as well.
Yeah.
Because when somebody gives you, a job to do, the person expects you to do it, that he too will be satisfied and the people that you are working for will be satisfied. Harry talked about Martin Colley, Emmanuel Gonkwe, and other people. Myself, I have serious fundamental problem with them. You were appointed to do something as 9 people. Why don't you leave your mark? You were appointed, it didn't even take good 6 months, you started resigning, on ground that you had differences with the person who is heading the institution. That's not correct. You know, and one area that I have had problem with in recent times that I'm trying to see if I can go to their office to meet the director is this annual disaster management agency. The people that is sent in a field, DK, I mean, those are people who don't even care. They talk to people anyhow.
Wow.
And you must know that, you know, the people that you are talking to are people who are already traumatized. Those are people who have lost their homes, lost their personal, you know, belongings and all of that. So when they come, they just, you know, behave as if people live with them.
Okay.
Then just to drop it now, I had a little problem with them in my community in recent times. They came, they should have informed people who were affected, you know, ahead of time before they could come. But it's just in less than 1 hour, they expected, you know, the community, the people, the affected people, you know, in less than 1 hour. And they say, if you don't bring your people, we will go. How do you you know, operate in such manner? So I mean, it's very unfortunate. The people, you know, got angry with them, and they said, but if this is what you have come to do, then of course go and do, you know, whatever you want to do. Okay. But you cannot impromptu, you know, and get people, you know, to gather, you know, for verification. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elogbo. Let's take this person from the diaspora. Our brother. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. This is Douglas.
Douglas.
Thank you for the program. Man.
You are live with us this morning.
Yeah, thank you. Hearing, you know, the problem is that the government is not opposition. Opposition just there to talk, you know. But the government have to put things in place before they can come up and say we are doing this, we are doing this. But they cannot just come up on, you know, in the blue and say, oh, we are planning to do this, we are planning to do this, and it will be definitely just like misleading the people, just studying and they are not happy. This is why work, my brother. If you see those days yesterday we were looking at those days, it was very good because you know the city is dirty because they don't have place to throw the dirt. So the men went over there and they renovated our place. You know, they gone Montreal City Mayor. They just stockpile dirt over the huge dirt. You know, so they needed to take that dirt from there and clean the place before they can take another dirt. Oh, now it will be problem, and they secure another land, which means over maybe 20 years, we will not have problem in throwing the dirt. We'll have place all the time. So if you don't put a thing in place and you start to work, it will be for nothing because it will just be all over.
Okay.
And you'll be overwhelmed. So it's good that the people
Thank you so much for calling from the our brother there, Douglas. Let me feed off our folks from social media on Facebook. Marcos say good morning. I'm watching closely from Ganta City, Nima County. Say good morning. Peter say good morning, guys. Honorable Josh Watkins Jr. say good morning, everyone. I'm calling from a comfort zone in district number 13. Watching from a district number 13. CDC Papi for Keita for life. It's a good morning, Punch FM. I'm following from Dupolo. That's Dupolo. God bless Liberia. Okay, then we'll come to our friend and brother Moses Mongai. Say good morning, guys. Good morning, good guys. I'm following live from SD Cooper Road, district number 6. Thanks so much for the update this morning. Then we have Josh Hassan Berete say good morning. I'm following from 72nd. Okay, those are the guys that commented on our Facebook page. So if you are still following us, you can leave your comment on the topic, on a discussion. We're reading out for you. Just
suspended, tinted with tinted character, there's something play on our mind. So we are encouraging our president because we know the surrounding, the president may be want to be doing good, but the surrounding, we don't know the contact between PLC and the president's surrounding that allow her to resign and then to go sit down to her house.
Okay.
So we are encouraging the president, please.
All right.
In our basket, let them be treated the same way.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's take this person. Pangomo, good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning, Buckeye.
Yeah.
Good morning to the Liberia people. But better, let me be bold. I'll vote for Buckeye. And let the party more than anybody Republican Liberia. If it has not paid, but I don't care. I vote for Buckeye to rescue the Republican Liberia to be better. Senator Malabio speaks the criminal, and today Senator living by the asset of how much they collected. Okay? What civilized country like Liberia model who contributed independent of Africa, independent of Guinea, independent of Sierra Leone, independent of South Africa. Why the numbers to be able to get just what they say now, sleeping, and you got one just around here, they're stopping, going out there now. The court, the court mongering out of us. The justice system number is polluted. Citizens are already citizens judge manner we are judging them what you appoint, and they are scared of me there. They manipulating the whole. Why somebody you call roll name, you call it 300 million, you call it day, you call it a knee, you call everybody need their knowing. The African can be in by and by, and to seize them or their property. He makes it sedition and indemnity. He's criminal then. He's sabotaging all. He's making burglary out of our justice system. He's making burglary out of our new government and the surrounding okay. Maybe a drug. Every command and say. Up to now, the report laying down on the table. Kofi here with no group. And I don't call the Minister of State for ANC Minister of State. The concern of men like a robber. Malabio, today, Sarah Leone living life. Why did them put the motherfucker?
No. We can't do that on this platform. I know that you are mad with the situation, but let's be safe up, Agomo. Let's be safe. Let's take this person here. Good morning.
Good morning, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, brother. I always follow this show, and my name is Amos Zabo and Anthony.
Yeah. Good morning, Amos.
I always admire you. You speak on behalf of Liberians and Indians and Liberian boys. You can speak for parties. It's why I always admire you. You see, I always hear people saying that the level of government is not doing that. You know, and forgetting to know that government just left power, and then another government take over, so they have to face a lot of things before getting on court. And my second issue has to do with the yellow machine. You see, this machine business, if it was just going to be something like the person of going to say, there is a budget that will get that each lawmaker will be taking place. I tell you, no love again. You're now going to hear no noise in this country, but this yellow machine, I'm always hearing people making noise for it. just together to see the betterment of the country. They not drop today. They will not say that they will say that work together and make La Drop better today. Other countries work together. It's not a magic. It's place to see that country the way it's made to do. So we all have to work together to see the betterment of the country. So I'm seeing those president. Is that not brother that the current come to power issue work and those are appointed to cover with you that whosoever our money will discuss it together and they are found to get discuss it together. Thank you for a show.
Thank you so much, my brother, for calling in. I like the way you took your time to, express yourself. Harris, we need to conclude on this because we don't want to come back again on this scene issued about this central bank. Yesterday, we kickstarted this particular initiative. We just want to roll it out and conclude on it for today because we have a lot of people to look at. Yes, so
for me, it's special because what can we think only that central bank report today? I mean,
the funding.
That's what I'm saying because the thing is just so pocket, and I understand from where Pagomo speak. Pagomo, yeah, we understand. We know at times some people are troubled. A lot of folks sometimes when they're troubled to express themselves at times in the way that you want them to, it's a challenge. So yeah, Pagomo, we understand. But this morning, the broadcast on the second segment now, we're going to focus on the already damaged Central Bank of Liberia. Looking at what the other report says. Yesterday we started the broadcast right the place. We started yesterday. We couldn't complete. Yeah, and so this morning we are here. But
you know what I want us to do.
I should be careful when I'm talking about the Central Bank.
You know what I want us to do the money. Let's do it. I will read it out. Then you will break it down. Yeah. Because the slide that we're having here, we talk about the authorized disbursement of money. We talked about that one yesterday. We talked about the land issue yesterday. We talk about the vehicles yesterday. Okay, then the management of CBL. Okay, that three we talked about yesterday, right? Okay, so now let's start with number 4. Number 4 is saying here is that the management of CBL pay 178 million United States dollar and 1.94 billion in raw cash over CBL counter to individuals representing 6 entities, which is far above threshold and non-compliant with the that's AML regulations. I don't know what I mean by AML regulations. So Harris, 178 million United States dollar, equivalent to not only 178 million United States dollar, but also 1.94 billion Liberian dollar were given to people on the counter. In raw cash. Now there's that all right. So this is it. It says the management of CBL pay 178 million in LRD, that's Liberian dollar, 1.94 billion in raw cash over the CBL's counter to individuals representing 6 entities, which is far above threshold and non-compliant.
You see, Bokai, I stated this earlier. When I talk about the central banks, I as a person, I feel discouraged. I've been very frank. Disregard professional what I feel. As a Liberian, a typical Liberian, yeah, we feel we share the similar feelings. So you out there listening to me, I too, the same way you feel right now when you listen to these figures.
Yeah.
That's the same way I feel while discussing them as well. But what distinguishes you and I is that because my job is that despite how I feel, I should discuss it so that you understand. So that I separate the both of us. But it is a sad time for our country that our people, we Liberians, all the thing that has been explained, their money that is stole from central bank. It's not a Ghanaian that sat at central bank stole this money.
No.
It's not a Nigerian that sat at that central bank stole the money. Neither a South African or a U.S. citizen that sat at that central bank stole the money. Even though someone share naturalization with the United States. But it is we Liberians who don't want to damage this country this way. So you understand that? We get problem. Oh, foreigner coming in our country and stealing our resources. I said to someone last time, some foreigner coming in our country and stealing our resources. I said, they think that foreigner taking from men and stealing for you. The people that you get in your government are stealing for you. Go talk to them first. Because those foreigners will come and build on the already existing system they see here. So they see a system that is corrupted. They see a system that won't be corrupted. I'm careful this morning how I choose my words. They see a system that is being corrupted, which means that our system is already there. A chakra, a pass mass in the simple that bring way we want to place it. So when foreign nationals, other investors come in this country, and when they meet such a system, they survived on that system and they exploit from you Liberians on that system. So you have group of Liberians, young, injected, those that are poised to be educated, or sent a central bank to go and manage the affairs of the country. And on top of that, they're the one manage and spearhead the resources, the reserve of the country. And you want to read, you want to go forward, to see, I'm coming. You want to move forward to see the president and everything. I was reading on Singapore, for instance, the last time. And we're interested to know that the bank governor, the central their central bank too as well, the governor of that country is not even part of the top 30 richest person in that country. The top 40 wealthy person in that country, he's not part of them. Try that in Liberia. It's not possible. So you see what distinguishes other developed countries from ours is that we put Liberians that ought to be ones that should have this country at heart. They are the ones. We say, oh, the United States don't do nothing for us. We say, oh, the other country, Ghana, yeah, Ghana kind of country, they tell this you can't do it in Ghana. But the Ghana don't get the courage to go and steal from a country the way we stole from this country. Working government previous time. 80% of Liberians that own mansions in other countries are the ones that have worked in government. So it is telling that over 100 million were disbursed on the counter. What that means is that, for instance, you get a justo, or you get a shop, you put a goods there. So the goods has been sold, you're sold there, supposed to manage the sale. Then you went to visit your friend, and when you return, the goods in the store. Interesting thing. Being excited now to go check to the storeroom where you saved the money, and when you went, you saw that the money that there cannot account for the goods that have been sold. That's not interesting you. When you call your son, later they know that your son was doing on the counter. When people cancel, now some of your friends can say, "Oh man, I meant to do nothing." They may put him in a bucket and take 20 hours to tell you and give the friends. And just drop on the counter and say, "Take it." I tell the team, go back. no accountability, no reason. A friend, they don't say credit me, I'll pay, you know, nothing like that. So 100 plus. Then I follow all of the procedures, the laws, everything in this country. That's what that finding is telling you. The GSC report is telling you.
Okay, so the next one it says here, it says contracts amounting to 11.8 million. That's 11.08 million were awarded in process without evidence of bidding and procurement. Once again, contracts amounting to 11.0 million were awarded in process without evidence of bidding and procurement. That one probably they were giving contract to people. The amount of contract they gave it came up to 11.08 million United States dollar. But all the contract they gave to the people there, they not part through bidding process, they not part through PPCC, they not part through all the anti-graft institutions. No, they not pass through them. So that's what the other one is kind of informing you about.
So literally, when my friend Braka get a company, what a Braka company were established
on a dubious
no, what a Braka register, what a Braka get business registration, what a Braka, just because I know Braka, so I'd call him Braka, we have to contract here. But man, just do something, just either you apply, we'll get rid of you. Then Braka come, get rid of Braka, I receive my kickbacks, and we be done with it. Why is true that they say that a government get contract, government wants to print, or a government wants to procure stationaries. Maybe you want to bring a sheet and everything. They said the government should announce that in newspapers, right? Through the PPCC, then they go through a bidding process. When you announce that, then all of the bidders, people were applied. And so, oh yeah, me, I can do that thing, I can supply, you know, stationery to this government institution. Then the PPCC will say, okay, all of you bring your something. So also every government institution get a procurement unit. So all of y'all will bring your bidding process, your quotation. Say, oh, you know what? They bring a sheet. I'm gonna say all of the stationaries you want to purchase is about $40,000. But we will give it to you for $37,000. Then we'll save the government $3,000. A lot of people will say no. Oh, they did all the thing. We sell it to our shop for $35,000. But we'll give it to you for $32,000. So we save the government $3,000. So when we finish everything, then the person with the best, the person that brought forth the best bidding, they will win the contract. That's how it's supposed to be. But this thing is telling you about 11 million were being dished out in contracts without any bidding process.
No,
they don't follow any bidding process. So which means I was giving contract. Just know Americans say, oh, Darada, I might get on my beginning that he, the man how use cars, man. Saying a year that the institution won't purchase some vehicles.
This is the 8,000 our car.
Yeah, we can just go to the man and give this stuff. We'll get a contract, but how much you give us? It's okay, we'll give you one car free or Uno operate. Then that's how it work out. So by the time we conclude with that, get a contract to Braka. We don't care again any longer. We do that in a simpler way that you understand. They want no standard English.
No standard English.
No putting it in an intellectual form. We doing it
the way they were doing it to
the way they do the central pen that you understand the morning that way we doing it.
So let's move on to after that, after the procurement, we come to it says CBL finance. Now, before I talk the other one, when I hear people talking about, when I hear opposition block, most especially the folks in CDC, when I hear them talking about, JMB bringing machine without going through the national legislation, not doing the one, not following the referral procedure. This is just the CDC government, the CDC administration. Now, the CBL finance government invest $2 million. What's the name to get over? The CBL finance government of Liberia payroll amounting to US 50.2 million on November 30th, 2023 for payment of salaries without evidence of legislative approval or ratification. Let me read that again, then Harris will come in. The CBL finance government of Liberia payroll amounting to US 50.2 million on November 30th, 2023 for payment of salaries without evidence of legislative approval or ratification. That's according to the General Auditing Commission. Harris.
You're not talking about ratification. We'll come back to your ratification. Ratification means my people ratification. I wish I could simplify the thing that we people understand. Ratification means, even though we know that the microphone was speaking before you buy, the law says oh, won't buy the microphone because people are their voice can be clear. So won't buy the microphone to give them a clearer audio.
Because that's how it's going to be.
Then they let you just say, okay, but then let's see the microphone you won't buy. How much is it that the people giving you this thing for? They do all of these things when you come. Then let's just say, okay, but then from what you explain, I think the microphone we buy will be good. It will help in the work that we do. So yeah, go buy. That's what the ratification means. So similarly with government, before you go out in terms of procurement, I'm saying in terms of the finance of the government payroll, the legislature has to ratify, right? So they think that 50 million was being dished out for salary without a ratification of the legislature. So review to understand whether this entity supposed to receive X amount of data for payment and everything of the employees and everything, but that was not done. That's what I'm saying. So the manager will go and say the telephone call the fund administrator, my man, who's all pay the people, yeah, but total money is all pay the people, or the fund administrator call the preso, the total money is all pay the people. At 50 million. But right now we get that money. I think small money to the system. So what to do just time because you don't want to call him, will be acting some kind of way. The job was okay. I'm calling. The job we are calling. So my man, you know the more we're in election.
We're in election.
So yeah, so the they still was will be noise.
It will be noise in our country.
But two telling me that we need about 50 million to do the thing. And now the money now no much money in the account. So we need 50 million for you, man. So I go do this something. I'm saying, Talu said, okay, yes, no problem. They went to 50 million. That's how they did it. They call something everything we don't know. That's why the GAC is telling us.
And just to add up, let's just add two of these together. They'll get moved to another one. They say another one here is the CBA also disbursed 32.85 million to GOL on December 23rd, 2023 to subsidize salary payment without evidence of legislative approval. So the first one was 50.2 million. 50.2 million. The second one is 32.85 million to government of Liberia on December 23rd, 2023 to subsidize salary payment without evidence of legislative approval. So that the two just combine, Harris. The first one was in November 2023. The 30th of November 2023. Then the second one was on the 23rd of December. Back to back. In November, 50.2 million. In December, 32.5.
In a struggling economy like this, a hungry country like Liberia, where its people are hungry as well, can have a political institution with 50 million budget to run a campaign, I would say asking ourselves as how the CDC as a political party, that even if this morning, let's say all seditions from the grassroots to the highest person in command, CDC, we open a GoFundMe and say everybody put money in the CDC can raise 50 million to go run campaign. That a political party like that in a hungry, struggling country like that area, where people wake up and go on the streets and come back home with our money in their pockets, and have a political party with 50 million budget to run a campaign, you think what they do? What they do that money? You think that money in the face to Gibraltar they brought? It is the country money. And someone asked me, how is it possible? It was possible because you had a finance minister at the time who was seen as the brain trustor, who was seen as the master crafter, who was seen as the cream de la cream, who was seen as the inventor of the impossibilities, who was start and imagine a situation and carefully design a plan and brought forth those situations that will suit the current day reality. To get that done, the mastermind and destroyed and plugged the country into financial crisis. And this is what we are. So now you see, don't do anything. I mean, we're gonna do. We are not get zero idea on how I say that.
John, and I didn't know how the money that will be spent. What I mean,
me, my argument is not about whether he don't know what they're gonna spend. My argument is about George has zero idea about even financing not to finance a campaign.
I'm telling you,
a 50 million budget and being presided over a huge number this as a coin here as the mastermind of this thing. Tell me, Boakai, what you think the money what thing for?
Man, but my first time to hear in Liberia that a political party using folks are still to be corrected. But this is my first time hearing that a political party is using 50 million in Liberia.
Me, I'm still to be corrected. I don't want to be corrected. This is the first of a kind.
So we stay still. Did that. Of course, still says the fact they play take some of the money from people. That they took some of the money from Central Bank of Liberia. So imagine if we were just going to give the weird administration another almost 6 years, my people. What were we gonna be? Where were we gonna be by now? The guys it's glaring, Harris.
Oh yes.
It's glaring. And we shouldn't be wasting time with some of these people. That's my point. We shouldn't be wasting time. The results are there, the facts are there, the proof are there, and they are glaring. That people now you see Nyimane PSC, you see Aloysius Talu and other folks at the Central Bank of Liberia, they are still passing around here. With all of the report that are coming out from the Central Bank that we are reading, they are still passing free.
This is what we are. This is what we are, my man. Listen, if we're going to have that GSC there.
The Ministry of Justice,
the LLCC look through and say, oh yeah, true. My man will take action on the people.
That's all.
These things will not happen.
It will not happen.
But the laws we have in this country of Waka, they protect those people so much. So everybody will get rent. You get one young man in Aloysius after serving that position for a very long time, and such a thing has happened. Report his credential as a person in
Nimane PSC say we will pay her after all the money, all the stealing at central bank they did. Now they are telling us that we should pay them. She's telling us that we should pay her. My people, because she resigning. Let's not just stop there. Let's go to number 7. Royce, US approved payment totaling of 1.08 million as corporate social responsibility without any approval, approved budgetary provision. Yeah, that's it. Another 1.08 million as corporate social responsibility without any approved budgetary provision. Then we come down again and say the management of CBL awarded and paid 500,000 in contract to Vator Trading Limited to trim bank tellers for 12 months without evidence of any work done, bidding, procurement, tax clearance, and Ministry of Justice. A contract to Vator Trading Limited to trim bankers, bank tellers for 12 months, that 1 year. Trim them for 1 year. How many persons will get to the central bank that are doing the tallying Benin?
$500,000.
Yeah.
To a company that the report claimed that they even find traceable records of their existence.
Yeah, to train people. Just to train people. How to check money, how to check the money for the money to be correct, how to get the money to people. Just to do that, we use 500,000.
Now learn that one when you're going to accounting school.
Yeah.
Listen, what guy, I don't know. And like you said, we're still looking at President Boakai to take this central bank issue very seriously. This is beyond fear of anything that people will talk about. We should. This is the National Reserve we're talking about. This is the National Reserve we're talking about. This is where our country, the hope of our country is.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen?
Well,
president will take interest in the central bank. Yeah, because we understand that this is a place that you still over time the bank has been all the I've been with central bank. It took the courage to manipulate central bank. That is the ways. And at times I'm asking myself, I don't know what's the essence. Because the GSC is doing an audit. And the audit that the GSC is conducting, the GSC will answer and say, oh, let's just go to central bank and say something, man. That's how it works.